Hi everyone, this is Lori Peters from the Happiness Hangout. And today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the 4 areas of happiness that you can control. This is a real eye-opener because so many people don't realize that there are things that you can do to immediately raise your happiness levels. And in this quick video, I'm going to talk about 4 of them. I do a presentation called Live Happy, Live Better. And it's anywhere from quick tips that I go through to an hour to several hours of a presentation. So I'm just going to focus on those 4 areas that can help increase your happiness. And first of all, what I want to mention to you is that you can only control close to about half of your happiness. And I wonder if you'd like to take a second to think about, where do you think the other half of your happiness comes from? Well, it actually comes from the genes that you're born with, because you can't help what those genes are. So you can't control those. But what you can control is the other close to 50% of your happiness. And that's really good to know, because you know that there are things that you can do. I'll be talking about some of those things in my Live Happy, Live Better presentation at another time. But I do want to tell you that one of the biggest ones is gratitude. There has been so much research through positive psychology on gratitude. I mean, you would not believe it. And many psychologists, psychotherapists talk about gratitude and how it can give you that immediate boost. So one hint is, if you're ever feeling down, make sure you write down everything you can think of that you're grateful for, even if it's the smallest thing. And even if you want to think, what good happened to me today? Even if it's just, I woke up today, my children are healthy, I have a car to drive, I have a job to go to, it's sunny outside. No matter what it is, think of everything that you're grateful for, and you'll immediately have a boost in energy because your endorphins go off. The part of your brain is opened and expanded, and that's actually why you do feel better. So let's remember that we control half that happiness. The second thing, let's talk about the big elephant in the room, is always around money. Can money buy you happiness? Yes, it does, if you don't have enough of it. If you have enough of it, enough to pay your bills, do some things that you want to do, take that vacation, if you have a ton of more money on top of that, it does not raise your happiness level anymore. There's research done on lottery winners that say that their happiness increases initially only to a point, and then it tapers off if they don't make a conscious effort to be happy. So you can imagine that having tons more money doesn't do anything. But if you don't have enough money, that's an issue. Okay? There's lots of numbers thrown around about how much money that you need to have. But the way I'd like to put it to you today is, you only have enough money if you can pay your bills and do some of those things I mentioned before. You can have a decent car that you like, or a nice car. You can do some things that you want to do. You can take a vacation. You're not struggling every minute to have enough money. If you have that in your life, then you're absolutely okay. Then you're going to do something in the end, the last thing I'm going to talk about. You're going to do more of, and I'll tell you what that is at the end. If you need more money and you need to start looking for work, that's really when you should start reading some great books out there about how to find a job that fulfills your passion. I myself did that. I left a lucrative job that was paying me very well to do only things that I absolutely love to do. And I did that because I wasn't happy anymore. And even though I lost money, I'm finding ways to gain money, and I'm using the happiness techniques that we learned about gratitude, about being aware of the wonderful things around me, about having people in my life that bring me joy, in order to have that wonderful, fulfilling life. And the money's coming. So that's a whole other topic to talk about if you need to find a job. But if you do, make sure that you write me and tell me, and I can focus on some Facebook Lives around that. So make sure you become my friend on Facebook by either going to Lori Peters or going to Happiness Hangout. The next thing I want to talk about are relationships. Relationships make you happy if you have relationships that support you. So what does that mean? Well, the largest study on adult development was done by Robert Wallinger. And it was done over a 75-year period at Harvard University. And actually, JFK was involved in that study. At that time, they studied men, and it was only men that that not only had great means in their life, college graduates and such, and they started this back in the 40s, okay, and it was just done and finished up recently. But men who were from the hard streets of Boston, blue collar, white collar, various health levels, various happiness levels, to see how they would fare out over a 75-year period. Now, the researchers did health studies on them. They did mental aptitude studies. They did studies on their attitude. And what came out of all this was that one thing ran supreme, and that was on relationships. And the two things that were said were you have to have a good level and number of good social relationships in your life. People that you need to be around, that support you, that bring you up instead of bring you down. And you should have those social relationships, and you should be around them often. The other thing was that you have to have one key relationship, a person that you can go to, whether it's your spouse, whether it is a good friend, clergy, a family member, that you can absolutely go to and say, I need your support. That you can call them at 3 o'clock in the morning and say, I need your help, or I just need you to listen. So we know how absolutely important relationships are to bringing you up. And the last thing I want to talk about as far as increasing your happiness is focus on the experiences and not the stuff. There's plenty of research out there through positive psychology saying experiencing on the stuff. And I'm going to give you an example. I have a little area outside of my condo. I call it the bistro. I named it. I've decorated it. I have great outdoor flooring. It's only like 12 by 12. And I actually just purchased something that said that is my happy place and space right there, where I bring people in, neighbors, friends, family members. We enjoy time out there together. We have snacks, we have drinks, we have the occasional glass of wine and drinks out there. We play music out there. We listen to our favorite sports teams. It is the place where memories are made. If you have that little space, it doesn't matter how big it is. I mean, some of you may say, well, I don't have a huge home and I don't have that great pool that I want. Even if you have the money to get the pool, get it. But focus on the memories and experiences that you're having. Those are the things that you can look back on when you're having a bad day that will bring you up. And that's the key right there. So no matter how big or small the place is, find that little space in your home to call your own. Decorate it. Make it something that you love to look at. Maybe it's a meditation space. Maybe it's a space you love to hang out in. Maybe it's a space you have great talks with people in. Doesn't matter if it's small or big, but create that space for yourself. And you will feel happier by doing so. So those are our 4 areas that I want to go over today to make you happier, and things I hope that you learned that you didn't before. If you want to get my bi-weekly quick reads, happiness quick reads, I have them on gratitude and relationships and everything. Just go to my website. Also, my book, you can get my book August 8th and on at Amazon.com, and you can find information about it right now. All of that can be at www.happinesshangout.net. Again, this is Lori Peters from the Happiness Hangout, www.happinesshangout.net. Thanks for spending a little time with me, and see you next time.